Chapter 1 Introduction. This chapter primarily discusses an offering known as the Par Halim Devar, Shel Tzibor. The Great Sanhedrin was the highest Jewish court. It consisted of 71 judges who sat in the temple and issued rulings for all Jewry to follow. If this court mistakenly rules to permit an act that the Torah forbids under penalty of kares, specifically an act whose unintentional transgression is subject to a standard chatas, and most of the community follows that ruling, thereby committing a forbidden act, a special offering known as the Par Halim Devar Shel Tzibor, bull for a matter that was hidden from the community, is brought. This offering atones for the entire community, and the individual sinners do not bring any offerings. To illustrate, the court mistakenly ruled that a type of animal fat is permitted to be eaten, while in truth that fat is chalev, a type of animal fat forbidden by the Torah under penalty of kares. Following the Sanhedrin's ruling, most of the community ate that type of fat. Had an individual eaten that fat unintentionally, he would bring a standard chatas. In this case, a Par Halim Devar is brought for the entire community. An important distinction between this offering and the standard chatas brought by an individual sinner is the circumstances under which it is brought. While an individual sinner brings a chatas for simply committing a transgression, the Par Halim Devar is brought only when two events occur. 1. The court mistakenly rules to permit a forbidden matter. 2. Most of the community then follows that ruling, thereby sinning. If only one of these events occurred, that is, the court issued a mistaken ruling but it was not followed by the community, or the community sinned unintentionally but they were not following a mistaken court ruling, no Par Halim Devar is brought. Mishnah in Chapter 1, Mishnah 7 discusses whether the offering is brought by the court who issued the mistaken ruling, the community who sinned by following the ruling, or both. The Par Halim Devar consists of a young bull and is offered in a unique manner. While the blood of most offerings is applied to the outer altar, which stood in the temple courtyard, the blood of the Par Halim Devar is applied to the golden altar, which stood in the temple sanctuary, Leviticus 4:18. In addition, while the meat of a standard chatas is eaten by the Kohanim, the meat of the Par Halim Devar is not eaten at all, but is burned outside Jerusalem, Bear 4:21. In both cases, certain sacrificial parts are burnt on the outer altar. If the mistaken court ruling involved a matter of idol worship, for example, the court ruled that a certain form of idol worship is permitted, and most of the community performed that action, instead of a Par Halim Devar, they bring two offerings, a bull as an olah and a male goat as a chatas. See Chapter 2, Mishnah 6.